Hello, hello, hello. I want to quickly break down this PlayStation clip that I thought was really strange and gave us a new little clip that we haven't seen before. So, without further ado, welcome to this little short video where I just thought there's some interesting things in this clip. If you're not familiar with the recent Story So Far recap that PlayStation posted, it really is just voice lines from the first game with some footage. However, they snuck in a small clip at the end that I thought was interesting from Death Stranding 2. If you don't want any spoilers and you're not looking to get anything else, then feel free to click off the video. This is a very small spoiler in the most vague way that I can put it. It's basically sort of a nightmare, and it's nothing that we don't already know. I was just surprised to see a new clip so close to release and so close to the new Kojima trailer coming out in just a couple days. So I just wanted to show it to you and talk about it briefly. Let's go ahead and watch a couple pieces of this trailer, the parts that are not the recap, and let's talk about it.
Once there was an explosion. A bang which gave rise to life as we know it. And then came the next explosion.
Okay, so I thought that was interesting. We actually get to see what I assume is the last bit of the tutorial, and we will end up walking inside Sam's bunker. It closes up, and then, this looks different than the bunker that we actually see later on, but there's been so much kind of misdirection, and I'm sure the tar lake can make things seem differently, but this does not appear to be the same bunker that Fragile runs out of that has the BT handprint. So I'm curious, is that a different bunker? Do they go somewhere and stay there for a little bit? Now we are going to actually just fast forward because all of this is just recap. It is just the Death Stranding 1 game, which if you have already played it, you know. If you haven't played it, it's worth watching the recap. It was a pretty good recap. But obviously it's always better whenever you can play the game yourself or watch like a full recap or watch someone play the game. So we get to the end here, and I'm gonna just kind of replay the very end of this little recap because I thought it was kind of interesting. I couldn't tell whose eye we were looking at first, and then I realized it was Fragile's.
Them to my beach, where I opened the gates to the other side.
I do not remember that specific line in Death Stranding 1, so someone's gonna have to fact check me. Did that happen, or is that a new line from Death Stranding 2?
I was broken. Sure as hell didn't care about America or the future. But somewhere along the way, I started meeting people that made me think that maybe it wasn't all bad. I'm here for you. Always. Lou?
I just took your cufflinks offline. The UCA wouldn't know where you were. You'd be invisible.
You know what happened so fast? We were attacked. I am so sorry.
Lou?
So that was different. What got me, well, first of all, this scene always chokes me up. It's just so good. But we get to this, and I had kind of forgotten what Lou looked like whenever she was technically like not responding. And that's basically what she looks like in the pod in Death Stranding 2. So that's something that I just thought was, I don't know, something to keep in mind, that we really have seen that pose already. And then we go over here and we get this zoom in on him. And this is 1 year later. So I do wonder, is that intentional? Because we know that we are starting 11 months later. So technically, it could totally make sense if this is 1 month after the game starts. And so this could be after Lou and Fragile are attacked. So we zoom in, and I don't know, something about this was just kind of crazy. The other thing is, on the side over here, you can basically see a void out. You can see the rocks up in the air, just like whenever there's a large void out.
You know what happens so fast.
We get Fragile speaking. I thought this was a neat image. I didn't know who this was at first, but I'm pretty sure this is Fragile. And obviously we can't see a lot, just the reflection in her eye. But I think that's supposed to be the baby mobile that is shiny. We see it in just a second reflecting.
We were attacked.
Yeah, I think it's this.
I am so sorry.
But the weird thing about this is, does this mean that we are now getting just kind of normal nightmares that any father that loses a child would have? And at what point in the game is this? We do have the jacket, which is starting to make me think we might actually get to wear the jacket, which is like the only thing that I want in this game, is, besides getting my baby bag, is I want to be able to wear the jacket. I think it's so cool. But he's wearing the original Porter outfit, so perhaps this is in between Fragile, the attack, and then her returning on the Magellan. Maybe we get like a small mission in between where, kind of like in Death Stranding, the director's cut, it says past time until the inauguration. Maybe this is going to be like deal with the trauma of losing your child. And then the fact that there is a void out that we can see over to the side, I'm wondering, could there be a void out right after Fragile and Lou are hurt? Is that why Lou is actually dead? Not because Higgs shot her, but because there was a void out, and maybe Fragile repatriated or whatever happened to her, and the void out is why Lou is no longer around and comes back kind of like as a BB. That could be something. Because that to me looks like the original area that he, wanders in the tutorial. And I'm sure that's why we see multiple images of him. We've had a trailer that looked like it was snowing. We've had a trailer that looked like it was raining. I was talking with NV, and of course he showed that it's the exact same clip, just with the ambiance changed, basically, the environment. And so now I'm wondering, maybe we are in that area more than once. But yeah, I do think that was a void out we can see to the right, and that would make sense. Of course, you can see a void out in the actual intro. I covered that in the intro video. You can actually see that in the tutorial, but that looks a lot closer and in a different spot than the void out we could see in the other clips. So perhaps the reason Blue is not with us is not because she was killed by Higgs, but because there was a void out. So anyway, that is kind of the newest clip we have, and I just kind of wanted to put it out there and ask you guys what you thought. I thought it was interesting, and anyway, I'll see you in the next video, and have fun playing the game.